In this video, we'll be going over the 5 hottest NVIDIA news stories of the week. From price target increases to acquisitions, autonomous trucking breakthroughs to dazzling displays, and even a rare stock downgrade, we've got it all covered. Let's kick things off with some bullish news for NVIDIA shareholders. KeyBanc just raised its price target on NVIDIA stock from $130 to $180 per share, maintaining an overweight rating. Analyst John Vin cited continued optimism around the upcoming launch of NVIDIA's Blackwell series chips later this year, as well as robust demand for its data center processors. The upgrade comes as NVIDIA stock has been on an absolute tear, up a staggering 170% year to date. Vin noted that despite the impending Blackwell launch, there are no signs of a demand slowdown for NVIDIA's current H100 chips. In fact, they're still seeing rush orders come in. But here's where it gets really interesting. Vin believes demand for NVIDIA's upcoming GB200 chips could drive data center revenues to over $200 billion in 2025. That's some serious coin. The analyst also pointed out that traditional server demand is experiencing an uptrend, driven by major cloud providers like Meta and Microsoft. I've got to say, as someone who's been following NVIDIA closely, these projections are almost euphoric. The company has positioned itself perfectly at the center of the AI revolution. But $200 billion in data center revenue? That would be absolutely massive growth from the $18.4 billion they pulled in last quarter. KeyBanc isn't alone in their bullish outlook either. Wolfe Research and UBS also recently raised their NVIDIA price targets to $150 per share. The stock is currently trading around $130, so there could still be significant upside if these analysts are on the money. Now let's shift gears to a completely different realm where NVIDIA is making waves, the entertainment world. Have you heard about the new Sphere venue in Las Vegas? It's an absolutely insane feat of engineering, and NVIDIA technology is helping power the jaw-dropping visuals. We're talking about nearly 750,000 square feet of LED displays covering the interior and exterior of this circular venue. The exterior alone, called the Exosphere, is the world's largest LED screen. But what's really cool is what's going on behind the scenes. NVIDIA has deployed around 150 RTX A6000 GPUs to drive these massive 16K displays. They're also using their Bluefield DPUs and ConnectX-6 DX NICs to ensure all those display panels act as one synchronized canvas. It's some seriously impressive tech. I don't know about you, but I'm dying to see this thing in person. The images I've seen online look absolutely fantastic. U2 just wrapped up a 40-show run there, and I can only imagine how incredible that must have been. But here's what really caught my attention. Sphere Studios has developed a custom Big Sky camera system that can capture uncompressed 18K images from a single camera. That's crystal clear resolution. And of course, they're using NVIDIA A40 GPUs to handle all that processing. This Sphere project really showcases how NVIDIA's technology reaches far beyond just AI and data centers. They're enabling next-generation entertainment experiences that push the boundaries of what's possible. I've got to hand it to them. NVIDIA continues to impress me with the breadth of their impact across industries. All right. Now let's dive into some exciting news from the world of autonomous vehicles. NVIDIA is teaming up with a startup called Waabi to bring generative AI to self-driving trucks. This is seriously cool stuff. Waabi announced at GTC that they'll be using NVIDIA's Thor centralized car computer to power their autonomous trucking solution, called the Waabi Driver. They're planning to launch fully driverless operations next year, which is a pretty aggressive timeline. What's really interesting about Waabi's approach is their use of 2 generative AI systems. They have a teacher called Waabi World, which is an advanced simulator, and a student called Waabi Driver, which is the actual AI system that operates the truck. This combo allows them to reduce the need for extensive on-road testing, potentially making autonomous trucking safer and more scalable. As someone who's been following the self-driving space for a while, this feels like a major step forward. Waabi's founder and CEO, Raquel Urtasun, made a statement that really stood out to me. She said, "We are excited to have a deep collaboration with NVIDIA to bring generative AI to the edge on our vehicles at scale." That's a pretty bold vision, and with NVIDIA's hardware backing them up, it seems achievable. Now, let's switch gears to some not-so-rosy news for NVIDIA. In a rare move, NewStreet Research analyst Pierre Ferragu downgraded NVIDIA stock from buy to neutral. His main concern? Valuation. Ferragu thinks the stock's valuation has reached a point where it simply doesn't have much room left to run. He wrote, "We see limited further upside based on what we hear from the value chain." But here's the thing. Ferragu isn't suddenly bearish on NVIDIA. His one-year price target is actually $135, which is slightly higher than the current share price. And his two-year target is $143, implying about 9% upside potential. But here's where it gets interesting. Literally right after Ferragu's downgrade, UBS analyst Timothy Arcuri raised his 12-month price target to $150 and maintained a buy rating. Talk about mixed signals. Arcuri's more optimistic outlook is based on research suggesting robust demand for NVIDIA's upcoming Blackwell platform. He's projecting 2025 revenue of $204 billion for NVIDIA, which is absolutely exponential growth from their current levels. So who's right? Honestly, it's tough to say. NVIDIA's growth has been nothing short of phenomenal, but we're in uncharted territory with these valuations. I'm definitely keeping a close eye on how this plays out. Lastly, let's talk about NVIDIA's attempt to acquire Run AI, an Israeli AI company. This $700 million deal, which would be NVIDIA's largest acquisition in Israel since buying Mellanox for $6.9 billion in 2019, has hit a snag. The acquisition is facing a significant delay due to administrative changes made by American regulators. Apparently, the deal is only now being examined, which could lead to a lengthy delay in its completion. Run AI has developed some seriously impressive orchestration and virtualization software for AI workloads running on GPUs. This acquisition would be a big deal for NVIDIA, potentially helping them build out their own cloud service without having to construct their own data centers. But here's where it gets really interesting. This delay raises some bigger questions about NVIDIA's future acquisition prospects. As the company's market cap has ballooned to nearly $2 trillion, there's speculation about whether NVIDIA is getting too big for regulators' comfort. I've got to wonder, is this why NVIDIA hasn't made any other big acquisitions since 2020? And could this relatively small deal with Run AI be a strategic move to fly under the regulatory radar? It's a tricky situation. On one hand, NVIDIA needs to keep innovating and expanding to maintain its dominant position in the AI chip market. But on the other hand, the bigger they get, the more scrutiny they're likely to face from regulators. To wrap things up, we've covered a lot of ground today, from bullish price targets and mind-blowing entertainment tech to autonomous trucking breakthroughs and regulatory headaches. NVIDIA continues to be at the forefront of some of the most exciting developments in tech. But remember, folks, none of this is investment advice. Always do your own research before making any financial decisions. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these stories. Which one did you find most interesting? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you enjoyed this roundup of NVIDIA news, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all things tech and investing. Until next time.